Hi, this is Kathleen with Kal-Ven Tag and Title Service, located at 627 North Collington Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland. Zip code is 21205. Our phone number is 410-668-6000. Website is www.kalventagtitle.com. Hours are Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 7. Sunday is 11 to 6. I'm also a Pennsylvania licensed tag and title agent here in the state of Maryland. This is for people who live in PA. They come to Maryland to buy cars and they want to get their car registered before they go to Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's what my license is for. Not for you if you have like a flag, you come in to me asking me, can I get PA plates? No, it's for PA residents only. Okay, today I want to talk about passport car registration or out-of-state license car registration. What do I mean by this? This is for like people who come here for international. The passport will be for international people. Maybe people who don't have social or who don't have, yes, their papers, you know. So if what you have is a passport, you come in here, you bring in your passport to apply for what's called Sounders. Sounders is a Maryland driver's license number that will be assigned to you. It's an identification number that will be assigned to your passport or to your out-of-state license until you are able to transfer your out-of-state license to Maryland, or for those of you who have passports, until you must have gotten all your papers, you know, to or you must have gotten your ID. Some people end up getting an ID. I believe you use a tax ID to get. I don't know how it works. You know, I don't want to say something that put me in trouble here. So you use these Sounders. Once you get the Sounders, use the Sounders to register your vehicle here in the state of Maryland. And for those, we have some people who maybe their business or their company will transfer them to Maryland, you know, for like a year or two. This is what this Sounders is for. If you're coming here, you don't want to transfer your license to Maryland. But if you decide, you change your mind to transfer your license to Maryland, then you make an appointment and go to MVA, and MVA will assign you the same number that I will get for you if you come to me for Maryland Sounders. So we call it Maryland Sounders. And for those of you who have a passport, make sure your passport is translated in English. If your passport is in Arabic or it's in Spanish or who knows, any kind of language, you have to contact MVA. They have interpreters there who will interpret your license, and then MVA, once it's interpreted, I'm sure they will sign off on whatever interpretation. I've never gotten any of those. I remember when I tried to process for someone, I believe this person's license was in French. Yes, it was in French. And I contacted MVA. MVA said no, they don't accept it. They have to call MVA and ask for an interpreter. And that interpreter will now, they make an appointment, go to MVA, and MVA, the interpreter will now translate that information. I believe they will sign off on it. I don't know how it's done. I've never gotten one before. So if your license, if your passport is in a different language, you contact MVA and ask MVA if they have an interpreter that will translate that title in English, so that MVA, who doesn't speak French or Spanish, will be able to know what that passport is saying and to make sure it's valid. Anyway, I believe if your passport is, I think they say it must be valid. I don't know, but I believe, yeah, it doesn't have to be valid. As long as your passport is in English, I should be able to use it to get you a Maryland Sounders. So this Sounders, you have to pay for it. Before, I used to do it for free, and then people will come here. After I must have worked hard to get the Sounders, they will just take the Sounders and walk away. So I don't do it for free. So you call me to ask how much it costs, and then I will tell you what the price is. But as for doing it for free, I'm sorry, I cannot do it for free. I don't waste my time. You come in here, my time means a lot to me. So there are two-step process how to go about this. When you come in here, I'll look at your passport, make sure your passport is valid. I believe it must be valid. And I'll give you a form. Okay, let me break it down. We have two-step process. It's not like when you come in, I will go ahead and register the vehicle. The first step is the application process. Like I said, two-step. step process. One is the application process, and then the second one is the registration process. So let me start with the application process. Application process is the one you come in, you with your passport or with your out-of-state license. I would make a copy of it and give you a form VR005 to complete for me. So once you complete that form, put your vehicle information, insurance if you have any at that point, but make sure you must have insurance when it's time for me to register this vehicle. You complete this form and then give me a copy of your passport or out-of-state license. I'll forward that information to MVA, and this process takes like 3 to 5, let me say 7 hours, depending on how busy MVA is. Sometimes it might take like 1 hour, or sometimes let's say the most 5 hours. So in most cases, you're free to come in like today in the evening time, apply for it, and then first thing in the morning I will have the number to register the vehicle. So once I send the information, once you come in and I apply for it, you have to go. Or if you want to hang around, you're free to hang around, but I don't know how long it takes. Sometimes MVA gets back to us in 1 hour. I will even say, let me just keep your hopes up, you know, because some people will come now and hold me. Oh, the tag and title lady told me it was going to take 2 hours, and then yeah, I don't want that. So I give people 3 to 5 hours or 5 to 8 hours. Basically, you come in today, tomorrow you get it. But if you come in to me like in the morning, like 8, 9, you get it before 12. That's all I have to say. So the application process, yes, you come in with your out-of-state license or your passport. I will give you a form to fill out, VR-005. You complete the form and I forward it to MVA. So at this point, you have to go. I'll give you a receipt of your payment and then you go. Or if you pay me through your card or through your, that should be your receipt. And then you go. And then you sign in on my clipboard with your phone number, so that as soon as I get it, I'll just call you. And then you bring the title or your vehicle information. I say vehicle information, the title, your and insurance. Make sure you bring insurance. Just bring me the complete paperwork and insurance. So the registration process, like I said, will be when I will call you over the phone. You will come in and say, I've gotten the number. Come in with your title, whatever you have on that paperwork, because sometimes people might have more than the title. So bring the complete paperwork, insurance, and then bring your license, your passport again, just in case, okay? So that after MVA must have assigned this number, I will go ahead in my system, you know, you must have completed the title or the paperwork, then I would submit the information and issue plate. Once I issue that plate, on that registration card, you're going to see your Maryland Sounders. It's going to say MD, and then you have a number. So every time you want to register a vehicle here in the state of Maryland, you have to come in with your registration or save that Sounders number in your phone. I've had some people, you know, they come in here, oh, I've registered a vehicle here in Maryland before, but I don't remember my Sounders. If I'm going through, if you don't remember your Sounders and you don't have the vehicle information, because if you were in Maryland and then you went to somewhere else and then you came back and you're coming back and you're telling me you don't have, you can't remember your Sounders, you have two options. Either you call MVA and get that number, or I go through this process, because for a tag and title agent to get your Sounders, we have to put this application, send it to MVA, and MVA will send that number. But if you call over the phone, I don't know if they're gonna release that Sounders to you over the phone. They used to do that before, but now they tell you to apply for it. So you come to me, I'll give you VR-005 with your out-of-state license to get the Sounders. But if you still have that vehicle in your possession, if you still have that vehicle that was once in Maryland, if you give me the title number or the VIN number, because some people move to a different state and then they still driving with the same plate, with Maryland plate. Or if you moved to a different, to a different state and you're coming back to Maryland, probably your VIN number. I'm gonna try with your VIN number to see if I'll be able to locate your sounders. I'll try that. If not, you have to go through this process again to get your sounders. So as for those, so once I register your vehicle for the first time and then you're trying to register a vehicle again, all you have to do is to come in with your old registration. Some people will sell the vehicle and sell the registration with it. So make sure you take a picture of the registration, put it in your phone, or save the sounders. It's gonna say MD and then some numbers, 1027 and some numbers. So if that's the case, save the sounders in your phone or take a picture of that registration so that anytime you come to register a vehicle, you don't present us with your passport, you know, to find your sounders. You're going to give us that registration or your sounders that's on the registration, or that was on the registration when you came to me the first time. Because if you don't have the registration, if you don't have your sounders, there's no way for me to find, you know, locate that sounders unless the vehicle is still in your name. If the vehicle is still in your name and you come to me and you no longer know the sounders, or if you came to me, I should be able to locate your sounders through my paperwork, okay? But if you went to a different tag and title and you're coming to me, you might as well go back to the tag and title place where you went to register that vehicle, and then they'll search for the sounders. Or you come to me. When you come to me, I give you a form to fill out, and then we'll go through this process all over again. Sometimes I've had some situations, you know, whereby this customer was stranded. She drove the vehicle here, no plate and everything, and I had to call MVA. I begged them. I said, please, my customer is stranded. Is there a way for you to, you know, like issue the sounders, you know? Sometimes if they're not busy, MVA, they will go out of their way to give me that number immediately. I have that done severally. When people are stranded, they have no place to drive anywhere, and they're like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen. Yes, I always call MVA and I beg them, I plead with them. I say, please, this customer is stranded. I know how I get my way with all these people. So I just be nice, beg them. I say, I know I'm taking you away from your work. Please, can you help me, give me the sounders for this customer? You know, I just be patient with them, and they end up giving it to me. So there's a manner of approach, you know, matters a lot. So if you approach them nicely, they will leave their work and then they'll help you. So yes, but in most cases, you have to wait. I don't want to give you this information and you come and say, oh, you start lying to me, I'm stranded. And no, MVA, if I keep doing that all the time, they will not help me. So make sure when you